All right. So, John, podcasting. Tell me more.
Podcasting. All
Tell
right.
me.
So there's a couple of ways to look at podcasting. I originally looked at it as another search engine venue, a way to get people to see me through audio. And since that time, I really kind of seen a couple other outlooks of it. So from and the whole kind of philosophy around it, I think the best philosophy around it. Some people do longer shows, some people do shorter shows, but I think like the 20 to 30 minute. Some even do as short as 10. But the idea is the average person's commute is 20 to 30 minutes, and it gives them that amount of time to absorb you
Mm,
every morning. So that's kind of the philosophy behind it.
okay.
So then the next piece of it that I looked at, and I had really never looked at it this way until a friend of mine explained this to me, but they looked at it as a JV meeting platform. So in other words, I see Jan Stringer, I say, wow, Jan's got some interesting stuff going on. Why don't I invite her for an interview for my podcast and give us a chance to chat?
Mhm.
And then you get into some discussions afterwards and say, hey, Jan, I see you do such and such, and it really blends in well with my work. Maybe there's some ways that we can cooperate together on some projects, or I might be a good partner, a referral partner for you, or whatever. I kind of like that philosophy because I almost think in the grand scheme of things, that's the best one. It really kind of takes the pressure off you. You're still getting, all the search engine goodness out there. People are seeing it. They're seeing you with a lot of other people.
Mhm.
And so it's not really a monetization strategy. It is in the end, because you may actually be a referral partner for somebody and, do some JV partnership type stuff with them and that. So that's kind of a real easy way of monetization. And then the other way that I've seen people do it is they'll create the show, they'll invite people to pick up something free from them, and then invite them into a group, a membership, something like that. A very inexpensive kind of membership where they could see all the episodes of the shows in one place,
Mhm.
or they could be part of a big Facebook group that you interact with regularly. And so those are kind of the couple of strategies I've seen that seem to work pretty well.
Mhm.
But the JV strategy one seems to be the most intriguing to me because it takes at least maybe in the early stages, it takes the pressure off.
Has it kind of replaced the telesummits, that were going around I mean, I used to be booked solid on telesummits all the time, and I had a whole calendar just for that.
Yeah, the telesummits were more like the predecessor to the webinars,
Hmm.
not so much podcasts, although it's possible to take this teleseminar episodes, twist them around, and republish them as podcasts. It's something
Yeah.
I was working with Ken on for a while. Ken Stone wanted to do some of that because he's
Yeah.
got all kinds of stuff from like forever,
Right. Right.
So, and then there's actually a fourth one too that I'm working on that I think is going to be more unique. I had kind of the idea. I picked some other pieces up of it from a friend, and that is to take your um, blog, to do your own podcast, taking some of your videos or things that you would produce as video and putting them out as podcasts.
Uh-huh.
And then you can also do interviews with it. You can take that material and put it on your blog. You can put it all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's more of a podcast
Yeah.
content creation strategy.
Content creation. Right.
Right. And so the way that my friend James does it, and I think it's quite unique, and I've seen all these iterations of it, but you can start it from video. You can have the video on your site. You can submit the podcast episode to iTunes or the podcast directories. You can even take, and over time create them into little Kindle books. So you'd have some kind of an agreement with the people who come on to your podcast that says, hey, I'd like to take this and produce it as a book at some point, or maybe even a chapter of a book.
That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
So that's kind of my twist on what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of what I'd
I've
like to
been
do.
playing with uh, creating a membership.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I set it up. The membership I set up is for the STAR community, certified stars.
Right.
And
Good job.
I'll show it to you in a minute.
Okay.
Just have the bare bones laid out. I've played with the thought pattern of it, like what would it include, what would be valuable. So the podcast could be a nice addition to that.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially, what I look at today is like we all need to create more content, and how do you make it as easy as possible?
Mm-hmm.
And if I can start from video and have things transcribed out and
Mm-hmm.
switch it over to a podcast, I mean, I could do all kinds of stuff with that.
Yeah.
So
In
that
fact,
just kind
I
of
was
makes
thinking,
sense.
just had the thought, it'd be fun to interview each of the certified stars about
Yeah.
their businesses, and people can do, it's kind of a form of networking in the
And
community.
that's good for you because you get kind of our take on how we're going to use it, and
Mm-hmm.
what our thoughts are around it, and I get a lot of thoughts around it. So
Yeah.
I think
I
that's a good
bet
idea.
you do, since everybody there is needing
Oh
what
my
you got.
gosh, I know
Yeah.
it's pretty wild, but it is a nice intro to what I do, and it gets them thinking about their avatar for video and all of that, and starting to attract those people
Yeah, yeah.
before they even do anything.
I know.
So it just makes all the sense in the world
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will ponder that,
Okay.
and we'll come back to that subject. How about that?
That sounds good.